$1,661.
Are there any questions regarding bills and payroll? Do I have a motion to adopt the bills and payrolls as presented?
So move.
And is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we have a proclamation.
Glenda?
City of Madisonville, Kentucky, proclamation. Whereas President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, as the nation approached its third year of bloody civil war. Whereas the proclamation declared that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states are and henceforth shall be free. Whereas on June 19, 1865, General Gordon Granger led thousands of Federal troops to Galveston, Texas, to announce that the Civil War had ended and that slaves could be freed. Whereas June 10th is the oldest known celebration honoring the end of slavery in the United States of America. Whereas in 1996, the first legislation to recognize June 10th Independence Day was introduced in the U.S. House of Representatives. Whereas on June 18, 2020, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshears issued and signed a formal proclamation recognizing June 19th as June 10th in Kentucky, and affirmed his intent to request the next General Assembly to declare June 10th as an official state holiday in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Whereas recognition of June 10th reflects the Commonwealth's resounding belief of liberty and equality for every citizen. Whereas the citizens of Madisonville, Kentucky support and embrace our governor's proclamation and celebrate our diversity and common heritage. Now therefore I, Mayor Kevin Cotton, do hereby proclaim June 19th as June 10th Day in Madisonville, Kentucky, and encourage all citizens to pause, reflect, and embrace our shared journey of freedom. So presented on the second day of June 2025 in Madisonville, Kentucky, Mayor Kevin Cotton.
Thank you.
Bill Macarena.
Next on our agenda are department reports. Business license report is in your packet for review, and we have comments by zoning administrator Mandy Todd.
Good evening, Council. For May, we had one new multifamily building permit. We had 3 new residential additions. We had 2 new commercials, 3 commercial accessories, 5 commercial alterations, for a total of 17 construction permits and a total construction cost of $2,017,750. We issued 4 sign permits, 1 demolition, 1 HVAC permit, and 3 mobile food vendor permits, for a total of 26 permits, and total permit fees collected were $6,233.
Thank you.
Questions?
Any questions? Thank you. Next on our agenda is new business, and we have a first reading of the ordinance amending the City of Madisonville annual budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
Be it ordained that the City of Madisonville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, that the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July the 1st, 2024 and ending June the 30th, 2025 is hereby amended as follows. There is an Exhibit A attached, and I think Diane is going to go over that with you.
Good evening, council. As Kim said, Exhibit A is attached. I'll go red line. They're each lettered. A, general fund revenue increased $1,307,200 due to increases in tax revenue, interest income, drug forfeiture income, police service revenue, building permit revenue, sale of surplus property, insurance loss claims, donations, and grant income, offset by decreases in airport fuel sales and agricultural income. I'll just point out that the grant income was in police, fire, and airport, and you might recall we do not budget the grant income and the expenses until they are recognized as grants, so they are part of the amendment. B, general fund transfers and other sources decreased by $300,000 due to the elimination of the transfer from the sanitation fund. C, general governmental expenses decreased by $339,000 due to a decrease in capital outlay in the finance department, offset by increases in salaries and wages, supplies, marketing, and hardware and software expenses. The large decrease is due to us moving the new operating system for the finance department into our next fiscal year. D, police expenses increased by $127,250 due to an increase in grant expenses, repairs and maintenance to vehicles, fuel, utilities, training, capital outlay, and police training facility improvements. E, fire expenses increased by $467,200 due to increases in grant expenses, vehicle repairs and maintenance, insurance, and building repairs and maintenance. F, the transportation expenses increased by $290,000 due to increase in sidewalk repairs, infrastructure, and capital outlay. G, cemetery expenses increased by $175,000 due to increases in outside labor and capital improvements. I think the list that you had said Oddfellows, that is actually Forest Lawn Cemetery. H, airport expenses increased by $185,500 due to increases in maintenance and repairs, utilities, and grant expenses, which are also offset by a decrease in fuel purchased for resale. I, park expenses increased by $206,000 due to increases in agricultural supplies, general repairs and upkeep, utilities, construction materials, insurance, software, insurance loss claims, repairs and maintenance of the city park dam, and capital outlay. J, under health and public welfare, that should say health and public welfare expenses increased by $40,000 due to an increase in utilities. Sports complex revenues increased by $641,400 due to an increase in food and beverage income, interlocal income, interest income, rentals, tournament, and family entertainment income. The sports complex expenses increased by $644,885 due to an increase in food and beverage, cost of goods sold, program costs, salaries and wages, benefits and payroll taxes, management fee, travel, equipment, and capital outlay. M, health insurance fund revenues increased by $267,500 due to an increase in employee deductions, COBRA payments, prescription rebates, and stop-loss reimbursement from our insurance company. N, health insurance fund expenses increased by $415,500 due to increases in stop-loss claims, clinic fees, prescription claims, administration fees, and health care expenses. O, our maintenance shop fund, which we had originally pulled out into its own fund, will be transferred back to reporting under sanitation fund. P, water and sewer fund revenues decreased by $3,765,600 due to decreases in bond and grant income, offset by increases in interest income and insurance loss. Those are adjustments to our West Nile Interceptor project. Water and sewer fund expenses in water filtration increased by $875,000 due to increases in chemicals, maintenance of water treatment, equipment, insurance, utilities, and insurance loss claims. R, water and sewer expenses and water distribution increased by $55,500 due to an increase in capital outlay. S, water and sewer fund expenses and wastewater collection decreased by $5,289,000 due to a decrease in capital outlay. That is also the offset of the West Nile Interceptor project. Water and sewer fund expenses and engineering and stormwater increased by $50,000 due to an increase in stormwater capital improvements. U, water and sewer fund expenses and wastewater treatment increased by $612,000 due to increases in utilities, sludge press maintenance, sludge hauling, supplies, chemicals, maintenance of treatment equipment, and capital outlay. V, water and sewer fund expenses in debt and depreciation increased by $100,000 due to an increase in depreciation. Sanitation fund revenues increased by $349,500. $58,000 of this was due to an increase in sanitation grant revenue. The remainder of the increase of $336,500 is the transfer of the maintenance shop revenues in the amount of $985,310, offset by a decrease of $648,810 in service revenue. Sanitation fund expenses in sanitation decreased by $91,000 due to decreases in insurance, fuel, lease payments, and capital outlay. The sanitation fund expenses in the maintenance shop area, which were transferred from the maintenance shop fund, they show an increase of $796,635. Maintenance shop fund expenses of $982,815 were transferred from the maintenance shop into sanitation fund, then decreased by $186,180 due to a decrease in cost of goods sold, salaries, payroll taxes and benefits, fuel supply, and equipment repairs, offset by increases in uniforms, cleaning supplies, tools, software, and vehicle repairs. Sanitation transfer to other funds decreased by $300,000 to eliminate the transfer to the general fund. All other funds remained the same. If you all have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those in between the first reading and the second reading for you all after you have time to review.
Thank you. Next on our agenda, we have a resolution for the Land and Water Conservation Fund.
Whereas the city of Madisonville proposes to acquire, develop, or renovate recreational resources to provide for the health and well-being of the general public, and whereas the city of Madisonville intends to make application to the Department for Local Government for assistance under the Land and Water Conservation Fund Act of 1965, and whereas the Land and Water Conservation Fund is limited to a funding of a maximum of 50% of the proposed project, estimated at $1,102,043.02. Would now therefore be it resolved that the city of Madisonville hold in reserve 50% of the proposed project cost of $551,207 for the purpose of matching the Land and Water Conservation Fund assistance, and be it further resolved that in the event a grant is awarded, the city of Madisonville understands that it will sign assurances to comply with the applicable federal and state laws, rules, and regulations, especially Title VI of the Civil Rights Act and Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act.
What I understand is that this grant pursuit is in connection with a means of potentially funding the second phase of the natural playground at the near the entrance to Mar Park Arboretum. So that's what's being explored. It takes time to work through this as to whether it's going to come out, but in anticipation of that succeeding, this is a resolution to commit to begin putting away planning for both funds and service, funds in kind, services that we might do that would match the potential 500 plus thousand of our part of the grant match. Any questions? Is there a motion?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve this resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Hearing none, the motion passes. Next, we have municipal orders.
The first municipal order is a reappointment of Mary Haley Hancock to the Tree Board, and that the term of Mary Haley Hancock shall be for 3 years, ending June the 1st, 2028, and that Mary Haley Hancock shall serve in accordance with the laws of the United States of America, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and the ordinances of the City of Madisonville.
Is there a motion to approve this appointment?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next is municipal order.
The next municipal order is an appointment of Clay Williams to the Zoning Adjustment Board. Clay Williams shall serve and hereby is appointed to the Zoning Adjustment Board to fill the expired term of Frank Williams effective June the 30th, 2025, and that the term of Clay Williams shall be for a term effective July 1st, 2025, ending June the 30th, 2029, and that Clay Williams shall serve in accordance with the laws of the United States of America, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and the ordinances of the City of Madisonville.
Is there a motion to approve the appointment of Clay Williams to the Zoning Adjustment Board?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nay. Motion carries. Next, we have on our agenda the matter of an appeal to the Joint Planning Commission's recommendation regarding a zoning map amendment application, and that has been appealed, so the council has before it the question of how that appeal would be navigated. There are two options for that. One is for the council to review the record, the written record, and the audio record of the Joint Planning Commission's proceedings in coming to its recommendation. The other would be for the council to actually conduct its own full hearing with notices and introduction of witnesses and testimony and evidence.
Chairperson Stevenson, I make the motion that we have our own trial style meeting. The council does to hear that the appeal of that.
Are you saying, making sure I
Yes, I
understand?
make the motion that we have our own trial style meeting. Second.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion made. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. So that will be scheduled at a time to be announced in concert with notification requirements in connection with that hearing. Any further business before the council?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion been made to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, rise. Thank you.
Thank you. I gotta get baseball field.